What's up, Sooner Nation? Welcome to the Sooner Surge. The Oklahoma Sooner softball team has just ruled Duke by a score of 9-1. Opening game of the 2024 Women's College World Series. A game that started off, I guess you could say, a little bit with OU going down 1-0. But wow, this team by the run rule and by the long ball, Hunter and Jay, get it done with 6 runs coming off dingers. The seniors stood up, guys. I mean, that's Kenzie Hansen was great. Jada Coleman. You had Hansen, Coleman. You had the other bomb by Torres, and then Sanders. 2 kind of unexpected guys. If Torres and Sanders are going to hit bombs this Women's College World Series, just get out of the way. The series is over. I'm sorry. It's over.
Yeah, Jerem, you're right about that. If they're going to hit like they did today as far as getting home runs. Here's the thing with Sydney Sanders. That's all she hits. Home runs or walks or strikeouts. I mean, half her hits are home runs. So that was great to see. I'm going to go back to 2 key plays in the game. I think major game-changing plays. One, bases loaded, Maxwell comes out of the game. Deal comes in. Jada Coleman with a great catch. And by the way, Maxwell, this is the 2nd straight start where it's not people hitting her. It's the fact she's can't control. I think they said it perfectly on the broadcast. She's trying to be perfect, barely missing corners, throws strikes. Her stuff's good enough. And I hope maybe next time we'll see. I don't know, because last few starts, it's been a struggle for Maxwell as far as free passes. But let me say this. Duke's coach made a massive mistake by pulling their starting pitcher. I do not understand that at all. You're up 1-0. I know it's the 2nd time through the order. Come on. I mean, that was an absolute bad decision, man. Right, guys? Bad.
Yeah, Kurd's one of the best pitchers in the country. I think no runs at that point to
1-0.
I don't agree with the decision. I think that's a bad decision.
I did agree with the decision, and look, when you're playing a team like Oklahoma, you've got to do things differently, guys. And I think the mindset, the mindset was, let's give them something they haven't seen. Let's try to we got a 1-run lead. Let's just try to keep them off balance by bringing it. And it backfired. Obviously, it backfired. But when you play elite teams, sometimes you get out of your comfort zone. You try to do things, and it comes back to bite you. And that's what happens. Of course, you wouldn't do that now, guys.
Well, Jerm, there's a difference of trying to do things differently when you're an average pitching staff. Kurd has a 1.36 ERA on the season. One of the best pitchers in the country, going against mighty Oklahoma, who's won 3 straight national championships. You leave her in. You have a 1-0 lead. Leave her in.
I agree, but she's a rise ball pitcher, which usually accounts for fly balls. And they had runners on base, and they were wanting a ground ball. They brought the dropper, the changeup girl, dropper, and it backfired. It was a dumb decision, obviously. Colin, Sydney Sanders, you heard Holly Rowe talk about it, that Patty Gasso has been saying that she's not getting enough kudos because of her defense. And I agree. She made a great play. Guys, Alina Torres today on defense was unbelievable.
Yeah, you mentioned
all in all the defense.
Torres defensively, great again. But once again, Avery Hodge coming in late innings. Not sure on that. I think
Torres, she did have a good double play.
Yeah, she did. But Torres, I mean, that play that looked like her only chances to go to first, and she spins around, gets the force at second. Big time play from Torres. It seems like she's just continually making some really good plays with the leather.
Hey, I agree with you, Colin. Those were the plays of the game. And I'll say kudos to Deal for throwing strikes and not walking anybody at that point, because you have the bases loaded. There's nowhere to go with them. And then Kenzie Hansen's 2-run shot. Can't throw her a changeup. She's batting 500 on changeups. Can't pitch her a changeup. She demolished it.
I know, Jay, you questioned the lineup a little bit, but here's one thing you got to admit, though. It worked. Maybe it didn't work early, but it worked. Kenzie Hansen in the 4-hole ended up being a great decision. Did you guys realize? I didn't know this. I heard this on the broadcast. She hasn't been in the 4-hole in over a month. That's kind of crazy to think about.
It's been a bit, a lot longer than one would think, honestly. With how long it's been since Kinsey Hansen has been in that spot. I think that just goes to show how good the lineup is for Oklahoma. It seems like Brito's usually in the cleanup role, but Hansen leads the team in batting average and does it again. Another big time home run for Kinsey Hansen in Oklahoma City. Sorry.
Monty, you did call it. I don't know if I'm lagging. Monty, you did call it. Sydney Sanders is big time with that home run, and I hope it continues. The final, Tyler, was 9-1. 9-1 was the final. Hunter, can you hear me all right?
Yeah, I can hear you. Colin, this is one of the coolest things with college softball. And I think you're going to see it again tonight with all the other, teams that have been in Oklahoma City fairly often with the former players coming back to support their team. They're usually sitting front row, like Jocelyn Allo. I think Haley Clifton was there today, Shay Knighton as well. It's really cool to see that many former players that made just massive plays for their respective teams years ago at that same field.
Yeah, and I figured that when the World Series started, we might see a little bit different team, and OU seemed to embrace the challenge. I like what Jada Coleman said, that they like to hunt now. They're not the 1 seed. And Texas better watch out, guys. Stanford's going to bring it here in a little bit. The weather ended up being just humid. Look, Hunter, I'm telling you, if OU's pitchers just allow solo shots, they're going to be tough to beat. If you're going to allow a home run, let it be a solo shot, you're going to be very hard to beat because they're going to score 4 to 8 runs a game, I would think.
That's how Oklahoma has been in years past. This year, as of late, the bats have been a little inconsistent. You look at the super regionals, 11 runs, get the run rule against Florida State the next game, didn't score a run till the 4th inning. Offense kind of hit or miss at times. Going into today, it was the 2 freshmen that were just leading the way for Oklahoma, and today they went 1 for 5. Cassidy Pickering, Ella Parker, but the seniors stepped up. You get that balance. I do think it's almost again, you're 1 day into the Women's College World Series, but 2 straight games now with Kelly Maxwell not being able to find the strike zone. Today, 67 total pitches, 35 balls. Another rough outing for Maxwell. Only 1 earned run, but not being able to find the strike zone. It was the inning that she got pulled in the 4th inning. It was, I think, 18 pitches, 13 balls. At one point, when and then the hit batter when they popped that graphic on the score bug. Maybe that's something to monitor because the previous start was 8 free passes issued against Florida State.
And Cinema 1975, thanks for joining us here. Listen, I think what you just said, Cinema, in the chat here, this team continues to amaze. Sometimes as OU fans, we have to take a step back, guys. We have to take a step back because we get caught up in things. This team is continuing to amaze. The defense, the leather that was flashed out there, the bombs that were hit, to have so much pressure and still continue to show up. And listen, it's going to be can you imagine the atmosphere Saturday at 2 o'clock on ABC, OU versus UCLA, the last team to beat them in the Women's College World Series? This is going to be phenomenal atmosphere. And I'm just telling you right now, guys, I think OU is going to embrace it and play exceptional again in that game. And if Torres and Sanders are going to hit bombs, everyone else might as well just wave the white flag. It's over. That means they got 9 people that are hitting. And Monty, you were right last night. 7 players are transferring from Washington. It's crazy. The portal again. It's crazy. There's Braden.
Yeah. Interesting on Washington, a program that's been so good recently, to experience that much turnover so far. I mean, the portal's not even officially open. I mean, you still have 8 teams fighting it out for a national championship right now, and you already have players entering the portal. I do think Saturday's game at 2:30 on ABC is the preview of the national championship. Whichever team loses that game, they're going to go on the flip to the bottom half of the bracket, and I think those two teams are going to meet up again in the national championship. UCLA is back to their old ways, playing some really good softball right now. Got the best player in the country, arguably, in Maya Brady. I think with how last year ended for them, the year before, even Oklahoma sending them home, I think they are determined to get back to the national championship series.
Monty, Oregon was a good team. They played OU pretty well. Braden, you're right. Jada's catch, the way Jada Coleman is playing, I mean, she's hitting really well. She had the laser up the gut. She had the other one where she was out in front of it and pulled it down the line for a double. She made great plays in the field. She's a leader. I love that Patty Gasso has called Riley Boone and Jada Coleman something of chaos. I forget the term, but basically they're going to be there to create chaos. CEO of chaos or something like that. Shyla, you're right. Postseason Sooners are on a different level.
Yeah. I mean, today it seemed like that was the Oklahoma team that you've seen the last 3 years in Oklahoma City, and entering it again. What would there be to expect with how kind of up and down they've been since postseason started? They've really been turning it up, and it seems like it's been forever since they lost that series to Oklahoma State, and that was only at the beginning of the month, not even a month ago that series took place.
Yeah. And Jada Coleman is a Golden Glove. It's ridiculous. People would say that Ella Parker should have been the freshman of the year. And Shyla, I am an English teacher, so maybe that's why I got it correct. But thanks for joining us, Boomer Sooner. That is correct. Hey, Hunter, what else today? We talked about, obviously, Kelly Maxwell struggled a little. Kirsten Dill was great out of the pen, which is out of the ordinary because she's kind of struggled a little bit out of the pen. For Patty to go to her with the bases juiced, big confidence boost, I think. Outside of Torres and Sanders, anything else surprised you today? We talked about the lineup with Hanson and the cleanup spot. Anything else maybe that you want to talk about from this game today, Hunter?
I think you kind of covered it all there. Kirsten Deal out of the pen. That, like you said, she's had a fantastic year. At one point was top 4 in the country in ERA. 1 week and maybe even pushing into the top 3 with the sub-1 ERA. Now it's at 1.57, and a lot of that is because of her outings out of the pen. It just hasn't been the same for Kirsten Deal, and today it looked like a Kirsten Deal that you're accustomed to seeing when she starts the game, just shutting down a Duke lineup that just really had no chance to put any more runs on the scoreboard.
Yeah, and Cinema, you're right. Let's keep it perspective. Jordy Ball was gone. This team's lost people. They did have a lot of seniors, but you've seen teams in past with a lot of pressure succumb to the pressure, and they haven't. And just like Colin says, offense fantastic, pitching decent, defense fantastic. And guys, everyone that's in Oklahoma City right now that is not wearing the Crimson Cream, that is not a fan of the Crimson and Cream, just did the old Scooby-Doo Shaggy Ruh-roh. Okay? That's what's happening right now. Scared. This is not the team you wanted. If you're on the other side, you wanted to see OU struggle to win. You wanted a 2-1 game, maybe. You did not want to see this run rule.
Oh, UCLA definitely wanted to see Oklahoma happen too. I mean, when Kelly Maxwell got pulled in the 4th inning, a shorter day than she normally has, struggling to find the strike zone, to then Kirsten Deal come in and give up some runs and then maybe even having to throw Nicole May some or Carly Keeney, kind of unloading your bullpen, because they were saying it on the broadcast today. 90% of World Series winners win on the first day. It's very tough to come back after a day one loss. And I mean, Oklahoma did it a couple years ago with James Madison, but I mean, if you remember, that road was very tough. You do not want to be playing on a Friday on what should be your off day if you're going to have a chance of winning a national championship.
Yeah, and I'm wondering if, and Braden says Boone bunt. That was a great play to lead off that inning. It was an exceptional bunt by Riley Boone. And I love the energy she brings. But, hey, I think it could be where, and we don't know this because we haven't seen game two. Are they going to go with Maxwell Dill combo and May Keeney combo? That's an interesting thing. I think it could be that, where it's Maxwell Dill, May Keeney, kind of those four working together. We'll see. But, yeah, Braden, that was a beautiful bunt down the third base line. Got a little air under it a little bit. No chance at getting Riley Boone. Cindy Sanders had a couple of massive stretch plays at first. Tiari Jennings had a great play at shortstop that people aren't talking about. It was unbelievable. The one that Torres made at second, I cannot believe she turned and threw that to second base. I thought for sure she would take the out, but she had the eyes in the back of her head and somehow knew she could turn, do a 180 and get the runner going to second. But it was great. Duke only had 3 hits, as Stubby says. Too many walks, but the OU defense was clutch. The OU defense may have been the story of the day, along with the long ball. The long ball is back, and the seniors are the ones that led the way in that. And, yeah, they didn't have that many pitches, and they get a day off. They're going to be fresh. Gasso and Rocha and company are going to go with whoever they feel gives them the best chance analytically, probably, and they're going to ride with that decision. And, listen, it's very difficult to question anything Patty Gasso does because, again, it's like Midas. It turns to gold. With Hanson in the cleanup spot. I don't know what else to say. She's elite. This team embraces pressure like no other. They don't. Hunter, Sanders is play at first. Torres is at second on the short hops. Those are plays that you have an error. 2 or 3 runners are on, and now you're in trouble. Coleman, if you drop, they don't make mistakes, and it's unbelievable to watch.
Yeah, I think like Holly Rowe was reporting, that's why Torres and Sanders in specific have stayed in the lineup even through this just massive cold stretch that they were on. But today they were able to make the plays both defensively and offensively with the home runs. And I mean, this is a moment for Sooner fans to just recognize just the greatness that they are witnessing that's about to come to an end. I mean, in the final days of Riley Boone, Jada Coleman, all those seniors in Oklahoma City at Devon Park. I mean, both of them, Riley Boone bunt. I mean, that's just what you get in Oklahoma City. And then it's not the Women's College World Series without a play from Jada Coleman that might be on SportsCenter.
Yeah, it was sounding like a robot there. I don't know if it was on my end. Okie Lawn Guy, we're live. We are live. Live at 5, except at 6 o'clock. Ball is staying in Nebraska. She's not coming back to OU. What's weird is happening here. Did your screen just flicker, Hunter?
Yeah.
So did mine. Can you hear me?
I think this is a good place to end for right now. We'll be back 9:30 for the nightly live Double Trouble. Check it out on YouTube. Turn on your notifications. Be sure to hit the subscribe button. Till next time, we'll see you guys later.
Boomer.